and welcome to Math Made Easy with Bonolo. In this lesson, we'll be looking at special triangles. The lesson objective of today's lesson is to use the properties of 45, 45, and 90 degrees. So these are the angles that will be in our triangle. And then we're also going to use the properties of 30, 60, and 90 triangle. Okay? You may be asking yourself, what makes these two triangles special triangles? And today I'll be answering that question for you. Let's look at the 45, 45 triangle. I will draw a triangle. Okay. Label my 90 degrees. So this is 90 degrees, not drawn to scale. This is 45, 45. Okay, so this is our special triangle. How did we get this special triangle? It started with a square. So we had a square. Okay, so let's talk about the properties of a square. We know that all sides of a square are equal. So I will label them L, 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 okay? And all angles of a square are 90 degrees, okay? So if somebody comes and says, I see a triangle here, let me dissect my square into two equal parts. So when we cut the square into two equal parts, the triangle here will be 45, 45, and then 45, 45, and therefore we will have this triangle over here. So this will be L, L. And now we don't have this side of the triangle. How can we get it? In the previous video, if you didn't watch it, I was teaching about the Pythagorean theorem. So we will apply the Pythagorean theorem to solve the problem, okay? So our Pythagorean theorem, let me try to use a different pen so that it looks beautiful. Okay, we have C squared is equal to A squared plus B squared. Okay, so what is our length, which is the legs of a right angle triangle? It's L plus L squared, okay? Equal to C squared, which is what we're looking for. So to make it easy for you, let's call this side X that we're looking for. So I'll say X squared. Now, we are going to solve for X by adding this. L squared by L squared will be 2L squared. This is equal to X squared. So we want the value of X. We will square root both sides. This will give us X is equal to L, because the square root of L squared is L, and then root 2, right? So this is how we found the hypotenuse of this special triangle. Now let's look at it and keep the rule in mind that this is our hypotenuse. So basically this is how it looks when we have something that's nearly drawn to scale. So if we want to find the H will be L root 2. If we want to find the sides of this triangle, it's L is equal to L, simply because the base angles are equal and therefore our sides are also equal. I hope you can note down this rule because we will be using it. Okay, cool. Let's try an example and see if this can help us. They give you a triangle with 90 degrees and they said find X. So for you to find x, you know that this is the length, and if this is the length, just for interest's sake, we know that this is 45 and this is also 45. And then this will be 6, because if your bases are the same, then your sides will be equal. So for us to find x, we can simply just say h is equal to, because this is the hypotenuse, it's equal to L root 2. And what is our length? Our length is 6 root 2. So the answer for x is simply 6 root 2. Easy, right? It's very simple. Cool. So the most important thing is to remember the rule. Now let's try this side again. We are still looking for h. Our rule for h is equal to L root 2. What is our length? Our length is 9 root 2 multiplied by root 2. Root 2 multiplied by root 2 will give us 2. So 2 times 9 will be 18. Okay, so our x is 18. Okay, so if you don't know, you can simply put this in your calculator. Put this in your calculator and it will give you 18. So your x is 18. Now let's try these examples. In your comfortable space at home, try these 3 examples. Simply apply the rule by pausing the video for a few minutes and trying the examples. Okay, cool. Right, now let's try the examples. That means our length here is what? 4, because our basis, if we have 90, 45, we need 45 to make 180. So our rule is h is equal to L root 2. What is our length? 4 root 2. So this is our x. I hope you got the same answer to, okay, let's try this one. h equal to L root 2 equal to 5 root 2. Very, very simple. Now let's come to the last example. h equal to length root 2. What is our length? Our length is 7 root 2 multiplied by root 2. So root 2 multiplied by root 2, it's going to give you 2. 7 times 2 is 14. So our x in this case, this is x, sorry about this. This is x. I'm just excited to get to the answer. X, x. So here we go. I hope you got all the answers correct. Now we are going to go and take a look at the next concept. Now, the same question can be asked in a different way. In this case, we are given the hypotenuse and we need to find the length. Okay, so we can simply use the same rule, and the rule will be length is h. We are looking for the length. Sorry about that. Okay, let me erase this. Erase pen. So we will find H is equal to length root 2. Cool. So what is our length? We don't know the length, but we do know our hypotenuse. So we put 12 length root 2. We divide by root 2. We divide by root 2. Okay? So the length will be equal to 12 divided by root 2. So we don't like to have the square root at the bottom. We will rationalize. Say multiply it by root 2 over root 2. Our length will be equal to root 2. It will be 6 root 2. Okay? Simply it will be 6 root 2. So this is the value of x. So that means this is 6 root 2 and also this is 6 root 2. I hope this helps you. Now, you can try this example, pause the video and try the example where you are given the hypotenuse, the h, and you need to find the length, okay? So after then you come back and you get that h is equal to length root 2. This is equal to 5 root 2. Okay? Length root 2. You divide by root 2. You divide by root 2. Okay, for space, I'll come this side. Okay, you will have length is equal to root 2 will cancel root 2. Our length is 5. So that means this is 5 and this is 5. Okay. Now let's come to this one. This time we are given the hypotenuse again. So h equal length root 2. Our hypotenuse is 18. We want the length, which is our x. Root 2. Now we will divide by root 2 both sides. Root 2 divide by root 2. Right? So here we are left with our length. Length will be equal to 18 divided by root 2. Can simply use your calculator to find the answer. 18 divided by root 2. That will give you 9 root 2. Okay? I hope you also got the same answer as me. Now, before we come to the main concept here, I want us to talk about the 60, 30, 90 degrees. So, 30, 60, 90 degrees triangle. So, this one did not start with a square, but it started with a equilateral triangle. So, our triangle was an equilateral triangle. And what do we know about the length of an equilateral triangle? The length of equilateral triangle are equal. But I am going to use 2L. Okay? Simply because we are going to cut the length and I don't want to be working with fractions. So we say this is 2L, 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 which is still the same thing. And then our angles of a equilateral triangle 60, 60 and 60. But we can put an altitude here. Okay, so we can put an altitude 90 degrees here in our triangle and it will bisect our angles to 30 and 30. This leaves us with a special triangle. Okay, I will draw the special triangle here. And the special triangle will be 90, 30, 60 degrees. And if we bisect the sides here, then instead of having 2L here, we will have L. And now we have our hypotenuse, which is 2L. Now we are looking for this side, and I will label this side X that we are looking for. So let's apply the Pythagoras theorem and see if we can be able to find the side X. I will use the blue color again. Say C squared equal A squared plus B squared. What is our C? This time we have our C. Our C is 2L, okay, square. And then I will put our X as X squared plus L squared. This will be equal to 2 squared is 4. L squared, L is L squared. And then we have X squared plus L squared. So I will subtract L squared this side, subtract L squared. We have 3L squared. This will be equal to X squared. So now we are not looking for X squared, we're looking for X. We will apply square root on both sides. Okay, when I put the square root here, this will give me X is equal to, oh, okay, I have to come and write it this side. So I will write here, X is equal to L root 3. So our X is L root 3. So what you have to remember in this special triangle is 2L, it's L root 3 and L, so that you can be able to solve the problems. Okay? Now let's try an example and see if we remember our rules. And we can apply our rules. So here it is. In this book, they use the S. So this is 2S. And this is S root 3. And the smaller side is just S. You can use any alphabet that you want. It will still give you the same thing, the variable, okay? Cool. Now let's look at this example. We are looking for X, we are looking for Y. So we want X, which is the hypotenuse, and we want X, which is the S, okay? So what we are given here, we are given length, which is equal to L root 3, right? L root 3. Okay, so what do we have? We have 15 here. We have 15, but we don't have the length. So we have 15, which is the bigger length, and we don't have this length. I will call it X already, okay? X root 3. So to find our X value, we divide by root 3 this side. Divide by root 3 this side. So what is 15 root 3? Let me use my eraser so that it's clear here. I'm still going to write the same thing, but I just want it to be neat, okay? So we have X root 3. I'm dividing this by root 3, okay? So what remains this side is X. And this side we have 15 divided by root 3. When we simplify that or rationalize it, we get 5 root 3. So that means our x value is 5 root 3. Now let's come to the y value. Let's come to the y value. The y value is given by h is equal to 2l. So what is our l, which is the x? Is equal to 2 times 5 root 3. Okay, so what is 2 times 5 root 3? This will give us 10 root 3. Okay, which is about 17. This is y, and y. So y is about 17.3. So it makes sense that your hypotenuse is bigger than the other two sides. So we found x and we found y. Okay, cool. Now it's time for you to try the example. Try 3a, 3b, and 3c. Apply exactly the same rule and then come back to the video to check if you got the same answer. So pause the video for a few minutes and check your answer. Okay. So here, if you are looking for x value, you will simply say L is equal to, I'll just go to x root 3, and our L is 12. Our x we don't know, and then we have root 3. We want to remove and find x. We divide by root 3. We divide by root 3. We rationalize. Our x will be equal to 12 divided by root 3. Okay, this will give you 4 root 3. And if you want y, you multiply this by 2. Y is equal to 2 multiplied by 4 root 3. Okay, so y will be equal to, excuse my space, 8 root 3. So we found x and y for this example. Okay, so for space sake, I will remove this example and try B. Now let's try B. Even in B, we still apply the same rule. And this rule we have, we are given the h this time. We are looking for our length and our x. So we will say h is what? 2 times our length. So this is 10, 2 multiplied by x. We divide by 2, we divide by 2. X is equal to 5. And y is just L root 3. So y is equal to 5 root 3. So I found x and y. Now let's look at this one. Okay. Looking at this one, here we are given s now, which makes it very easy. So we will start with length is equal to our x, which is the small side, okay, root 3. In this case, our small side is 21 and our big side is y equal to root 3. So we found y. Now let's find the value of x. Don't get confused with this x. This x is for this small side, for the equation. It's not the same one as this x. So let's look at this x. This x is simply our h from the rule, which is 2 times the length, okay? And our age is what? Is x in this case 2 times 21. So x will be equal to what is 2 times 21? This is 42. So we have our y value over here. And we have our x value over here. Okay, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the video. Put the like, share the video with your friends, and subscribe to my channel for more videos during this time, and you can learn more and more and more. Remember that math is made easy with me, and see you next time. Bye.